Hey guys, welcome to the Real Deal Unmasked. And the topic is dealing with conflict, learning how to deal with conflict resolution in relationship. So it's important to tune in, and we hope that you learned something from a few of our points.
So our first point is understanding that disagreements are normal. That once you get in a relationship with somebody, you don't think the same way as the other person.
No.
So my wife and I, we are nothing alike. We are complete opposites, and usually opposites attract. And so what that means is the way that she thinks and the way that I think is completely different. So when we have to make decisions, my view on something and her view is completely different. And that's natural. It's normal. Everybody has disagreements in their relationship. But it's understanding that and learning to respect each other's opinion and view on subjects, and respecting each other to the point where you understand that your relationship is more important than any conversation or any argument or disagreement that you can have.
That's good, honey. Wow. So the second point that I had to learn all the years of being together.
Still learning.
I'm still learning. You have a cola? You have something? Something's going on with you?
No, I'm good.
Whatever. Like you said, I'm still learning.
We are still learning.
Whatever. So the second point is listen before you speak.
But I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said the second point is listen before you speak.
Sorry. Talking to the good. I just remember this.
You heard just what I said. Listen before you speak. So you're throwing it at me. So I don't listen before I speak? No, I mean you say it in your head and as if something that you have something to say to me.
If you have something to say, you can say to your face.
So what is it that you have to say?
I'm scared to resolve conflict with you.
So I mean, what do I have I know that I used to have a problem with listening before I speak. Am I still as bad?
No.
No, tell me.
You're not as bad.
So you're helping me. I'm not as bad.
You asked me if you were still as bad. So I said, no, you're not as bad.
Okay, well, guys, again, we're learning. We're teaching you. We're teaching ourselves. And we're making ourselves accountable. So it's very important to listen before you speak.
It's a process for you. It's a process for us as well.
Yeah. So tell me, give me, touch on it. I would like to know what you say. Tell me what at this present. Tell me. I'm confused. Listen before you speak.
So are you
help us? No, help us.
Are you getting upset? I never know you to stutter.
No,
I never hear you clap your hands so much. You singing a song, and then you're quiet.
Okay, all right.
So we need to resolve. We have some level of conflict.
I think that
at this point that we need to resolve.
We need to resolve it right after we finish with this video, because I need you to tell me when do I speak before I listen.
You want me to have specific points and dates?
No, I mean, give me an idea.
Because I don't know. I mean, you asked me that question and I'll never be able to say, okay, on February the 5th at 8:23. And if you do that in your relationship, that's a problem. Why? You would cause more conflict. If you can identify a specific date that your spouse did something, then something is wrong. That's unnatural.
Yeah,
you should not do that. That can create a conflict because you're not in a relationship to be holding on to situations to bring them back at a later time.
Can't. Wow. Yeah, that's
so
good.
that's something.
So that's a great example. A lot of time. I know. I mean, let me speak for myself. I used to do that. I could remember certain things, and I would have brought it up to him, and he'll be like, "How long you knew this and you didn't say nothing to me about it?" And that wasn't healthy. So we had to definitely learn how to resolve that. So that's a very good point, honey. But give us an example when you're saying to listen before you speak. Give us an example for relationships. I mean, tell me.
Well, a lot of times, especially when or people are having disagreements, it's more like you against me. And it's like I'm not giving you an opportunity to finish your sentences or say what it is that you have to say. I think that I know what you're going to say before you say it. So the minute you start talking, I just start talking because I'm thinking that I know what you're going to say or what vein you're in. Listen before you speak simply means the key to a good conversation is just not one person constantly talking. What's important is as one person starts to speak, the other individual stops and listen.
Yeah.
And hear what the person says before they comment. And a lot of times when you're in the heat of an argument or disagreement, you won't check in. You just won't get your point out.
Definitely.
Regardless of what the person is saying. If you have something in your head and you feel that needs to come out, that needs to come out, and you're not checking for what the other person is saying. And that what creates a challenge. And that also leads us to the next point, which is do not assume you know what your spouse is thinking.
Yeah, that's
why it's important to listen, because sometimes people assume that they know.
Yeah, I was guilty. I was guilty of
Listen,
that.
we are guilty of it.
Oh my God, I feel like these questions are these questions or something you need to talk to me about?
No.
I mean, I know that we went through this.
I'm going through it. We're still going through it because it's a process for us. And life is a process. As you continue to mature in your relationship, you learn to deal with situations differently, and it's a process. It's learning to understand one another and learning to understand that no situation that you face is greater than the person that you have in front of you. So regardless of how you feel, you have to put your emotions aside for what is the reality, and the reality it is I'm in a relationship with her. Yeah. So I need to hear how she feels. And it's important for me to know how she feels, and vice versa.
We're not assuming, because I think that's bigger than you know.
Right.
I think it's natural for people to assume that they know, especially if they feel as if they know you so good.
Right.
And I think that I think we were guilty of that as well. Thinking again, we know what you can say or how you feel, and the point remains that you don't know. No. You're not God.
No.
You cannot read minds.
But I know this person, we've been together forever.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. So if you're saying what James said just now, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference, because at the end of the day, assuming is never healthy. All right. So our next point we want to talk about is it's important. Do not argue to prove that you're right and your spouse is wrong. Always remember that there's no one is always right, and I think that's something that we always talk about when we do premarital counseling or couple counseling, because at the end of the day, you have people, the other party is looking to be right.
Right.
And like you always say, sorry for cutting you off, like you always say, is that if I'm right, that means the spouse...
That means I'm wrong.
That he's wrong.
And if I'm wrong, human nature and the way that we design is I want to be right at some point. So I'm waiting for my opportunity to be right. So that means the next time we have any level of disagreement, I'm only trying to be right the next time. And I mean, love and relationship, it's not about keeping score.
Yeah,
if you keep in score, that's not a measure of true love, and that's not a measure of a successful relationship. You don't keep score. I mean, you don't say, well, she won this one last time.
Oh, wow.
I can never win an argument with my wife. Honestly, we ain't gonna win no argument with them. That's just how it's designed. And it's not about winning an argument with her. It's understanding why she's saying something. Why is it that she has to constantly say something to you? Why is it that I have to constantly say something to you? So it's not about being right. It's about trying your best to understand the mind of your spouse and why they are bringing up a particular topic over and over and over again. It probably means that you're not changing some stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we have issues resolving conflict because we don't want to make some changes within ourselves.
And when you say ourselves, you're talking about the man, or?
I'm talking about the men and the women. I'm talking about...
Okay, no, just ask, because at the end of the day...
No, just ask us what? Use women?
The end of the day,
say women?
No, I'm just saying
tell me your view.
What happens is that you end up calling it nag. Like my husband just said,
you're trying to say women don't nag? Some women don't nag?
And over. I'm sure, of course. Of course.
So why you say we call it nag?
No, because again, you said that.
Word it properly.
Okay, again,
you have some people that actually nag because you have nagging wives and you have nagging husbands.
Yeah. So I mean, you made a good point when you said that you wonder why we keep on bringing them over and over and over again. That over and over again can translate to your partner as you being nagging. So that's why I touched that.
And then we got to be careful with that as well, because it can be where you're saying or repeating something over and over again because you want to have your way, because you look at things a certain way, you see things in this perfect light, and if it's not perfect, you're going to nag until you get this thing that you want, or you get me to do what you want me to do. And that could be done from either side, because men could be nagging.
Oh, yeah.
You have some men that are, constantly on their spouse as well. And we have to be careful, because it's not about you always getting your way. You can't be in a relationship trying to always win, always get the way things go the way that you want it to go. That's not what a relationship is about. It's about me sacrificing to do my best to make sure that I'm trying to make her happy. I'm understanding the things that she likes, understanding the things that I do that annoy her, and do my best to try and fix me so that I can try and make her happy, as opposed to me trying to get her to do what I want her to do to make me happy.
Yeah, that's good.
It doesn't work that way.
That's good. And next point is we have to figure out what result are you trying to gain from your disagreement
or your conversation.
Exactly. I mean, what's the
end result?
What's the end results? Right. And not only what's the end results, think about it. Is it realistic?
Right. That you don't have we're arguing because you're not getting something, or you want something that may not even be attainable. You're arguing because you want a car and you know that your finances are in a very bad state. You're arguing because you want me to always be home, but you know I have a job that's demanding. Or you're arguing because your wife didn't cook dinner, but you know she just worked overtime at work and she's tired, and you've been off all day. So that's at the end of the day, what's the end result of this? Why are we having this disagreement? And while we're having the disagreement, what do you want to come out of that conversation or the disagreement? Mm-hmm. And what is it that I'm expecting to come out of it? Like we said earlier, you can't be arguing just to win. You're probably stating your view to try and resolve an issue. That's what you need to understand. If it's something that's pressuring, or something that's very important in the relationship that needs to be fixed, then you need to do your best to state solutions, as opposed to stating, you always do this, you never do this, you never take out the garbage. Maybe while you're having that conversation, maybe you need to suggest some solutions to help fix it, or to help resolve, or to help achieve whatever it is that you're looking to do. And not try to dictate to your spouse
or talk down
while you're doing it.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing that you could do.
Yeah, it is.
Our goal is to build up our spouse, not to break them down. So you're talking down to your spouse. You're not building them up. But later on, it's the same person you want to go to for love. It's the same person you want to go to for sex. So we have to be mindful that you can't be mean. It's not about being mean and selfish when you're having a disagreement. It's okay to have disagreements or differences of opinion. Absolutely. That's natural and normal, and it happens all the time. And it's understanding that you want the best for the relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah, so our final point is you have to remember that your spouse is your greatest ally. Remember, your spouse is not your enemy.
Wow.
Why are we acting as if we're enemies?
Wow.
That is so important for us to understand what your spouse means to you.
Exactly.
So how do we get through it? It's just going by the simple steps and remembering that we're all on the same team.
Right.
And, the common goal is to live life together, having a happy, fulfilling relationship.
Yes.
That is it.
And that's attainable and that's achievable once you understand some of the basics. My wife is not my enemy. Just because we may have a difference of opinion on certain topics does not mean that she's against me and I should not be against her. It's not that. It shouldn't be that way. It can't be that way. If you live that way, how is it you expect there to be peace in your home? And I mean P-E-A-C-E and P-I-E-C-E. You ain't gonna have peace and you ain't gonna get peace. So you decide what you want. Because me, I like peace and I like me some peace. So you figure out what I mean. But at the end of the day, in order for you to accomplish peace in your home, you have to understand that we have to work together,
yes,
regardless of what. We're in this for us to work this
absolutely
together, and we're here for the long haul. We're not just here.
There's no backup plan. This is it.
No, I have no backup plan.
I don't have no backup plan. And if you guys...
You better not have no backup plan.
No, I have no backup plan.
Oh, okay.
And if you guys have a backup plan, come on. It cannot work that way.
No, your relationship is going to fail.
Yeah, it's not going to work if you have the next option.
There's no way out. There's no out for us. There's just us and God. So, I mean, that's how you got to look at it. You got to look at it as this. There's just you, your spouse, and God.
Yes, definitely. Those kids, if you have children, come further down the line. But as, for us, we take it serious and we're here to help you. So we hope that something was said on discussing on conflict resolution in relationship, and we want you to know that you can get through it.
Yes.
We did it.
Right.
And what you see is what you get. There's no faking until you make it here. This is who we are. And like my husband said, we're still learning. We're not perfect. We're far from perfect.
And we've not arrived.
No,
there's no such thing as being to that place. It's a constant work in progress.
Absolutely.
Your relationship is constantly working to progress. And then you measure yourself by yourself of yesterday.
No, that's good.
So you don't measure yourself by somebody else's standards. You measure yourself by who you were yesterday, who you were a few months ago, who you were last year. And that's how you measure yourself and measure your level of success in your relationship. So we're so grateful that you guys tuned in to watch our video. We thank you so much.
Yes.
If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to share our videos
with your friends and family members. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Please, guys, I want you to tune in. We want you to tune in because we're going to go live and we want you to not miss that opportunity to tune in. So please continue to send your questions in and continue to reach out to us. Feel free if you wanted to email us directly. Our email address is therealdealunmasked@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook. Send us a private message, and you can follow us on Instagram, guys. It's been fun, and we are grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
And God bless you.